What's up? My name is Sam, and we have a power rankings to react to. Bleacher Report dropped this power ranking of every single team, NFL team, before training camp. Let's get to it. And here we have it. Where does every team stack up? And it was dropped the 24th by the BR NFL staff. And of course, Patrick Mahomes is the cover. And with Team 32, sounds about right. The Arizona Cardinals here. They do have, as they say here, they do have a new staff. New head coach. They just lost DeAndre Hopkins, and there is no Kyler Murray, of course, to start off the beginning of the season. And that's huge. They don't have their quarterback, and what are they gonna do? And it sounds about right here. It looks like they are going to be in the Caleb Williams conversation, and that is going to be another conversation to talk about if they do get the first overall pick with Kyler's situation. And let's get to the next team, the Houston Texans. With this one, I could see it, but I'm not sure about it. I think the Texans could be a little bit better than the few teams we'll probably see up here. I haven't really fully read this one, so I'm reacting it right with you. So here, I think there could be a few teams, the Texans could be better than a few teams. I think Bryce Young could, win a few more games, but I could see why. It's not crazy to think that they'd be the second worst team, and I think they even have the Cardinals pick next year, which is no. I think the Cardinals have their pick next year, so maybe they want to be a little bit, they want to be a little bit better. And here, Houston Texans, I think with Dalton Schultz, I can't remember, see if they have it here. Nope, they don't have it here. See CJ Stroud, and then they did get Will Anderson defensively. That could be a potential rookie defensive player of the year. But here, I think, I can agree with it, but I think the Texans will be a little bit better this upcoming season. Next, the Chicago Bears. What? We got to see why. The worst record, though, because yes, they did have the first overall pick, and then they traded it back for pick 13, I believe, around there. Yeah, they got DJ Moore and future draft assets, and oh my goodness. But I'm here. The Bears have a decent defense. The offensive line is horrendous, and that's what they need to work on. And I think Justin Fields is going to take another jump next season. I think he can take that next jump. They're not going to be winning the division or anything, where they can be sneaky and win it. But it's tough, man, because for them to win the division, I don't think that can happen. But for them to be like the second, third best team in the division, and for them to be 30 pretty much dead last, I don't know about that. I think Justin Fields takes a bigger jump than that. All right, let's see who's 29. The Buccaneers. Here, the Buccaneers, I think them and the Texans I would flip. Maybe put right here the Texans and then flip right here, because who's their quarterback? Kyle Trask, and then right, who is it? Kyle Trask or Baker Mayfield. Yes, you still have Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, but how much are you really relying on that? You lost Tom Brady, obviously, one of the GOAT, and there's not much to say. They still have a solid defense. They still have, I think it's, I forgot his from the defense. White is his last name. I think I'm blanking right now. And yeah, 29. I think they should be around 31, maybe even 30. They might be a Caleb Williams right here. The Colts. Oh man. Personally, I can see the Colts being the second best team in their division, behind the Jags. I can possibly see them being better than the Titans. I'm not too high on the Titans. I'm not. I know I like the DeAndre Hopkins signing, but I think, what are they saying here? Head coach Shane Steichen, and then Shane Steichen with oh my goodness, what's his name? Who is it? Anthony Richardson. Oh, I just forgot his name. For Anthony Richardson, who I think is going to be a pretty great quarterback starting off. And then Gardner Minshew is the backup. Of course, you have Sam Ehlinger back there. But You have Shane Steichen, who's helped out Justin Herbert become the quarterback that he is right now, who just got paid a bag. And then, of course, Jalen Hurts, who just had a breakout MVP season. I'm not saying Anthony Richardson is going to be an MVP, right day one, but I think he could be pretty impactful. And, they still got one of the best running backs in the league, Jonathan Taylor. A really underrated wide receiver in Michael Pittman Jr., who's a dog. And, they got, I think, Alec Pierce out there. I think that's his name. They got a team out there. It's just like any other team. The offensive line is horrendous, and hopefully it can get a little bit better. But Anthony Richardson, him able to move out of the pocket, and him be able to run, and I think Shane Steichen could unlock some weapons in him. And let's see what we got next. So what was that? 28-27. The Atlanta Falcons here, man. Desmond Ridder did take the job halfway, mostly through the season, from Marcus Mariota, who I think is with the Eagles now. And man, Kyle Pitts and Drake London is what they need to be like right here. They can win the division. They have a decent defense. They have a great running. I didn't even say Bijan Robinson. Oh my goodness. Offensive Rookie of the Year, and pretty much Offensive Rookie of the Year, with him leading the offense, and then the defense just needs to be okay. They have, it's them, the Saints, and the Panthers pretty much to grab, because the Bucs are going to be garbage. And it's just if Kyle Pitts can stay healthy, and if Desmond Ridder has a decent jump from what he was last year, and he was not that good. But I can stand no training camp, just thrown in halfway through the season. With Marcus Mariota, the Marcus Mariota drama, his knee was hurt and all that. But here, I'm hoping he could do a little bit better. But, potentially steal the division from the Saints. Just saying. The Carolina Panthers, like I was just saying right here, another team that could steal the division from the Saints. And, I wonder how high they have the Saints. They can't. I think the Saints probably should be at 20. But we'll get to them. We'll get there. Panthers here, of course. Oh, my bad. Earlier, I said Bryce Young with the Texans. I meant C.J. Stroud with the Texans. I can't believe I mixed that up. But yes, of course, Bryce Young here with the Panthers, not with the Texans. Here, they traded up for him, and they got Miles Sanders, and I think they got Adam Thielen, which they got some weapons around them after trading away DJ Moore, which I think would have been perfect for Bryce Young. I keep mixing them up. But here, they were like a game away from winning the division with Brady there. So I wouldn't see why not. It's just more on how the game comes to Bryce Young. If he doesn't struggle, or at least he just plays decent and just doesn't have an awful. If he has a little bit of a bold take, if he has a Justin Herbert-ish, like a Justin Herbert rookie year, they think they clearly win the division here, and they take the Saints. They take the Saints, who should be the division winner. Las Vegas, I think they should be 30. I don't know what's going on. Did they get rid of the Jimmy Garoppolo stuff? Yeah, I guess they figured that out, because I know there was questions about his physical and all that. But the defense is gonna be solid. You got some Josh Jacobs, some drama right there, because the man needs to get paid and he's not getting paid. Man, I can't really say much. Devontae Adams is pretty much the only light of it. But it's a division with the Broncos, Chargers, and the Chiefs, and I don't really know how much football you're gonna be winning if you play those teams twice a year. I don't know how much. That's guaranteed. That's almost guaranteed 6 losses right there. The Packers. I think this is the perfect spot for the Packers right here. No Aaron Rodgers, but they still got Aaron Jones, AJ Dillons, of course, and Jordan Love. I don't really have much. I don't have high expectations for him. Christian Watson, of course, breaking out last year, and I don't have high expectations because it is the guy replacing Aaron Rodgers, and I want to see if he is horrendous these first 3 weeks and stuff. Then of course I would criticize him, But I mean, if he has mediocre games, I'm not going to say he sucks or anything like that. I just think, he needs to be in the system, get used to being a starter, of course. And, he's shown some flashes. That Eagles game last year, and I mean, that Kansas City game, never mind that. But the Eagles game last year, that was a close game. I think he almost won that game. But, the Eagles were a legendary defense last year. The Commanders. Oh, man. Man, oh, man. I don't know about this. I think they can be a potential number one pick. I mean, they need a number one pick. Selfishly, as a Cowboys fan, be mediocre. Don't get that first pick because Caleb Williams is that guy. He is that guy. And him with this team, that would be kind of scary because they have a good defensive line. And then with Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, whenever he is healthy. And then, of course, Logan Thomas, when he's healthy, he's a dog. And Sam Howell, let's see. Man. Yeah, Sam Howell has to be legendary for them to be, decent, for them to even contend in the NFC East itself. I mean, I don't even think they could be better than the Giants. I don't think with the quarterback right now and how they are, they might be better than the Giants, but man, that's even saying a lot with the Giants, making some moves. The Tennessee Titans, I think I would put the Tennessee Titans lower. They do have a good defense, it has been their division. But I know I think last year was the first year that they lost it since I think the Blake Bortles era. Man, but I'm not too high on them. I mean, you did get DeAndre Hopkins, but how much are you going to rely on Ryan Tannehill? He has been a great, consistent quarterback, but he was injured last year, and I mean, this injury bug could be a consistent thing. I hope it's not for Ryan Tannehill's sake, but. Man, I'm not a fan because they didn't want to pay A.J. Brown. And then they just put a huge workload on Derrick Henry and just tell him, pretty much just do it all. Do it all. And, we'll make some plays here and there. And, I think it's just going to be too much. I'm hoping this is not a down year for Derrick Henry where we see the decline of him. I'm not going to say it's not. I'm not going to predict it's not until I see Derrick Henry, decreasing, that he is not able to power through the line as much. Until I see it physically with my eyes, I will not be saying that or predicting any of that. But he's around that age. I think he's even past that age where he's supposed to be. But the man is just legendary. He's just built different. He works on his body. But I'm hoping eventually it's going to happen soon. Father Time is going to catch up to him. And I'm hoping, because they have to be over a 10-win team to make the playoffs. And I have to look at the schedule to see. But 22, that might be a little high. I could have put him around like where the Packers were, maybe a few spots lower than maybe where the Panthers were. The Rams. Wow, the Rams at 21. I don't know. I think how they just had such a bad year. They did lose Jalen Ramsey. The defense, it's a good team, But it's just Matthew Stafford with the back and the neck injury again. Had to miss the whole season. That's a little scary for me. That's a little scary for me because how much more they were talking about him retiring. So I don't know how much I really take into that. So if he's healthy, oh man. I see they released Bobby Wagner, who went back to Seattle. You see, look right here. That Matthew Stafford said who believes the last days as a contender are done. If Matthew Stafford's pretty much saying himself that the contender days are done here in Los Angeles, what are they doing at 21? He should be all the way back there. They should be like, you know what, Matthew Stafford, you got your one, but there you go. We're going to put you here at 31 where the Texans are because, you're going to possibly get Caleb Williams next year. All right. The New England Patriots, this is the perfect spot. Not too good, but they're not going to be bad. They're going to be a Bill Belichick team and going to be decent, And it just all matters to this guy right here, Mac Jones. Defense is always going to be their defensive-minded coach. But, I think they signed Nelson, Juju Smith-Schuster, but they let go Jacoby Myers, which I was kind of confused with that because they pretty much paid him the same amount of money. I think they even paid Juju more. I'm not sure about that, but they're in a division with the Bills, Dolphins, and the Jets. With Tua Tagovailoa healthy, I said this earlier, I think they could possibly win the division. They might be theirs to lose. But, of course, you have Josh Allen, who's been the best player in this division since Tom Brady left. And then you have the Jets, who just got Aaron Rodgers. And we'll talk about them right now. Oh, let's see right now. Denver Broncos. Wow. You know what? This is from the season Russ had last year. This is okay. They're always going to have a decent defense. But I think Russ is gonna adjust. He's gonna have that big year again. He's gonna be old Russ, like he was in Seattle. Maybe not as mobile, but I think the arm will be accurate, and he will be back. It was just a down. That's what I think personally, be a down year. And with wide receivers like Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, and possibly Tim Patrick, hopefully he comes back healthy. Of course, suffering I think an ACL injury last year during training camp. Here, I think they can make a big jump. They could be up here. I think they could be in the top 10. Depends. Maybe around 11, at least over 15 at least. But Denver Broncos, this might be a little low for me. I think I put them a little higher. The Saints. Oh, man. I think the Saints should be around where the Panthers are. I think that because Chris Olave is good, but what else do you really have? I mean, Derek Carr, yes, but I don't know how much of a needle mover he really is. I think they kind of benefit from being in a weaker division with the Panthers and the Falcons, but I don't know how much. It's not like they're really a favorite, because I was just talking about how the Falcons could win it and the Panthers could win it, and it's like you're competing, you're number 3 behind, in front of the Bucks. I mean, I wouldn't be. If they end up last, then that's a whole other thing. But here, I mean, I expect Chris Olave to have a huge year, but I'm not too high on this team. Here at 17, the New York Giants here, and recently I think I'm recording this after the Giants and Saquon Barkley came to agreement saying they signed him to a 1-year, $11 million deal, one more million from over the franchise tag that they were going to give him, but that does make him a free agent. I think he can go wherever he wants after that, and I mean, I don't blame him. Get your money, man, and hopefully they can figure out something to make for them to make a bigger deal, extend him longer to stay there, because I mean, they don't really got much of a running back depth back there, man. Right there, that he can play under the $10.1 million franchise tag or sit out the season. He said he wanted to play, and there you go. They did it 1 year, and then of course Daniel Jones giving him that big money. I wasn't too much of a fan of it, but seeing it, how it's not fully guaranteed and all that, and like the other years are options, or it just goes. Oh man, I'm not too high on a team, of course, in a division where there's Dak Prescott and that amazing Cowboys defense, and then the amazing Eagles defense, and then having Jalen Hurts over there leading the way with Devontae Smith and AJ Brown and all them, and oh man, just for them to be the third best team in the division again. I mean, I guess if that's what you want, but you would want a playoff win, and that's what they got last year. I think if they can replicate last year, I think that'd be. I mean, I think them even making the playoffs would just be an okay season for them, and hopefully they can come to an agreement with Saquon Barkley. So I think here's a good spot. I probably put them. I think I put them over the Detroit Lions, of course, with a lot of players missing the beginning of the season, with the gambling suspension and stuff like that, which I don't understand why. It's just confusing with all that. Like, what? I don't want to get into it. But here, of course, I'm in Ross St. Brown, who I am a huge fan of. And, of course, Jared Goff, who is leading the way. The defense is scary. That from the last, I think the last 6 games of last season, they just balled out. The secondary was amazing. And I think hopefully they can replicate that. But with missing a few guys in the beginning of the season, hopefully that doesn't slow them down too much. But, I think the Vikings win this division. But they can be sneaky. This could be a division where 2 teams make the playoffs, and it could be the Detroit Lions. They could maybe steal it from the Vikings, but I mean that's a tough call to make. 15, there we go, the Vikings. This is perfect right here. 15 and 16 right here. And of course they have Alexander Madison after releasing Dalvin Cook. I want to see how much that affects them really. And they had a horrible first round of the wild card versus the Giants, which that was just embarrassing. Man, I mean, not really much. It's just like, yeah, you lost Alexander Madison, or you have Alexander Madison starting. You lost Adam Thielen. You lost Dalvin Cook, and also right here, you lost Eric Kendricks and you lost Zadarius Smith in your key defense in the inside, which is, man. I mean, it's just hopefully Kirk Cousins can be amazing and not be primetime Kirk where he throws 3 interceptions, and him and Justin Jefferson can hopefully make plays and make comeback wins and all that. And I wouldn't really be too sold on that, so maybe I'd put them a little lower, but I think 15 is probably average right here to put them. Let's see what we got next. Pittsburgh Steelers. Is this guy right here? TJ Watt has to be healthy. And I think I said in an earlier video, Kenny Pickett has to make a huge jump. And I mean, it's a Mike Tomlin team. They're gonna win games. They're gonna grind and win games. But like I said, it's a division where it's Deshaun Watson and the Browns, it's Joe Burrow and the Bengals, and it's Lamar Jackson. How much more can that's 6 tough games right there. I know most 3 of them are home, but that's 6 tough away games right there. Or three tough away games right there. And if you lose all 6 of those division games, or at least you win 1 or 2, that pretty much screws you for the rest of the regular season. And I mean, hopefully Kenny Pickett can make a jump. And then of course Deontay Johnson. Right, I think I said that right. Yeah, Deontay Johnson, who did have a bad year last year. Hopefully pick it up, doesn't drop the balls as much, but I think it's just too good of a division right here. The Cleveland Browns, who I'm really high on, great defense, Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and then Deshaun Watson coming back, and that is just Deshaun Watson. If he plays like Houston Texans Deshaun Watson, it's over. It is over for this division. If he plays like that, I mean, they could easily win this division right here. Seahawks. I think that's a little low for the Seahawks because their defense is crazy good. Crazy good. Geno Smith, she showed out. I think they're going to win this division easily. I'm not a really believer in the 49ers. That could be me being a Cowboy and a 49er hater. But I'm trying to be unbiased here. But I think that we'll talk about the 49ers, but I think here with the Seahawks having a solidified quarterback here and having DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and then of course they just drafted JSN, which is, I mean, what more can you ask for? That is just offense on offense right there, and with a great defense, I don't see how they could not win this division. Let's see next. The New York Jets. I like it right here. You don't want to give them too much expectations. This is Aaron Rodgers here, and you would hope Aaron Rodgers, I don't want to wish this on any Jets fans, that Aaron Rodgers does not have a Russell Wilson year 1 going into a new team. Everyone's hyped on it. Everyone think, they can win the division, win on this. I was really high on the Jets going into it, but I think I don't know anymore, man, because I don't want to overhype it. I don't want to, I just don't want to fall on that train where I just think, this great quarterback's here, but then it could be just so simple. They get a better quarterback, the team gets better, and that's it. But, it could be, Aaron Rodgers is getting older, and I think this is a tougher division with, the Patriots, the Bills, and the Dolphins, like I said earlier. And it's just football. It's getting better. And hopefully this guy right here, Sauce can just lead this defense and, hopefully it could be the top defense like it was last year. And then, of course, Garrett Wilson just balling out like he did last year. The Chargers. Wow, I forgot it. We haven't even said the Chargers. Ooh, I think I might have the Jets better than the Chargers. But, I mean, I'm not going to nitpick right here from 10 to 11. But, of course, I think recently came out, Justin Herbert did get paid. Rightfully so. He got his bag. And they're gonna start winning some playoff games, man. It's just they blew that 27-0 lead. They had that whole thing with the Raiders where, Derek Carr called timeout. They won by the field goal where they could have just tied. And they drafted, I forgot about that. They drafted Quentin Johnson. And you have a defense, like I'm saying right here, Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. What are you doing? How do you blow a 27-point lead? I mean, I know it's tough. I know it's easy to say hindsight, quarterback, was a Monday morning quarterbacking, but I think they just need to win games. But I don't know, like I was saying about the Broncos, they might be the second best team in this division, so they really need to step it up this upcoming season. The Jacksonville Jaguars, wow. As much as they are I think they are favorites in the AFC South, and I think they will win. I think that this might be a little too high for them. I think they might need to be back where the Jets were. Let's see who's back here. Yeah, maybe back here with the Jets or maybe even the Browns. Switch one of these teams back. Because, man, the defense isn't... I'm not too sold on the defense. Like, yes, the offense was amazing, and the defense did held up, and they did, come back from a 27-point lead, but you also gave up 27 points in the first half, and Austin Eckler was just running all over you, doing whatever he wanted with you. And, Trevor Lawrence, of course, is going to be a monster. I want to see how Calvin really is implied into the offense. Of course, you have Christian Kirk out there, but I want to see how he's implied to the offense. He is a touchdown guy, but I don't think he will be this over 1,000 yards guy everybody's saying. I think he could hit over 1,000, but it might be like 1,005 yards, which is still good. And I think 9 might be a little too high. I like them at 12. I can understand the argument here, but I think I'd prefer them more at 12. The Baltimore Ravens. If Lamar Jackson is healthy, yes, I see it here, but I'm not too sold on OBJ being one of your top guys. You paid him 15 mil. Zay Flowers, of course, you drafted him. And then Rashad Bateman, if he could stay healthy. And then, of course, you have one of the great, best tight ends in the league. Oh, my goodness, I'm blanking on his name. Mark Andrews. Oh, my God, I'm sorry. And here, yes, of course, you have Mark Andrews. And... course, defense is good. At least top teams, the defenses are going to be solid. But it's just more how much you rely on the receivers for them to be able to put enough pressure on the outside to open up the field for Mark Andrews. And that from Lamar Jackson, I'm hoping for that. If anything, his legs are going to be able to open up the field more for everybody else. But it's just him staying healthy. He doesn't really play football in December. I don't want to get too disrespectful or anything like that, but it doesn't happen. And hopefully this year can change. He's got paid. He's got his money. He's got nothing to sit out about. And hopefully he can stay healthy and play some football in December. And, could possibly win a playoff game. Miami Dolphins. I like this spot right here. I think it's perfect. Defense got better. Of course, you got Jalen Ramsey. And I think with Tua Tagovailoa being healthy, I think they could possibly win the AFC. That might be a little bit of a hot take, but I think they could possibly win the AFC if Tua Tagovailoa is healthy. He was having an amazing season. You could possibly say that he was an MVP candidate in the beginning of the season last year before the concussions and all that. And that's a huge thing right there. Concussions, but I've been seeing that he did, get a little bit, put some meat on himself, got a little bit buff, and apparently he's been taking jiu-jitsu classes to help himself learn how to fall. That's really good for that, and hopefully that helps out a lot, and not even for this season, but just helps extend his career, because those were some scary concussions last year. And I want to see what the Tyreek Hill. I hope the Tyreek Hill suspension. Hopefully it's just a fine and stuff like that. If it's one game, hopefully it's not too much. Drags out the rest of the season. But of course you got Tyreek, Jalen Waddle. I think they still got Mike Gesicki there, who's a solid defense, not a great dancer, solid defense, offense. And then of course they do have a solid defense. They worked on that secondary, who just got absolutely destroyed by the Chargers last year. Dallas Cowboys. Oh man, the bias in me is trying not to buy in. I think they're a top 3 team, top 4 team. I said it. Cowboys are probably a top 4 team. Dak Prescott, arguably the best quarterback in the NFC East, arguably. But you know what? 6. It is what it is. I understand. Losing Ezekiel Elliott, the whole stuff with Zach Morton, losing Kellen Moore, which I don't think is going to be that much of a. I don't think it'll hurt a little bit, but I don't think it hurt as much. But of course, Mike McCarthy is a decent play caller. They did get Brandon Cooks, who is going to help. Oh my goodness. CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup open up the field for them, and hopefully they can get a little bit pass heavy, and hopefully Tony Pollard is healthy. Which 6 is decent, but I think the defense is just amazing with having Stephon Gilmore, probably if not the best cornerback duo in the league with Trayvon Diggs, who just got an extension. Congrats to him. And Cowboys, I think I'd put them a little bit higher, but that's just the bias in me. Yeah, definitely over the Niners. The Niners don't have a quarterback. Defense is amazing, of course, with Nick Bosa leading over there, the reigning defensive player of the year. But I'm just more concerned about Brock Purdy. It looks like they're just pushing Trey Lance, to Tomorrowland. Hopefully they can trade him, just have him go somewhere where he can succeed and, get an opportunity. But here, I'm just more worried about Brock Purdy to see how he comes back, because it was, a pretty bad injury that he had. And hopefully, and they haven't really said much. They still haven't said if he's going to start in the preseason, if he's going to even start week 1. They haven't even shown us how he's been throwing. So I'm kind of concerned about that. I wouldn't have them at 5. I maybe would have them around where see who's a little bit higher. Maybe around the, right here, the 8-9 area. I probably have them around there. But I don't know who I would move up. I think it's just I move up everybody one spot, or the amount of spots. Buffalo Bills, I like this at 4. Hopefully they can get more weapons around Josh Allen this season, and of course this man right here, Von Miller. Hopefully he can stay healthy, and that's all they need. They need him to stay healthy and just to help lead this defense, because they were a pretty good defense when he was healthy, and it kind of fell apart last year. There was another defender last year. I forgot his name. He was also here, Tre'Davious White. And also Matt Milano, who was just a monster last year. I know last year, just watching, I think, a game against the Patriots or something, he was just lining it up, just making a huge impact. And I'm just hoping here all 3 of these guys can stay healthy and possibly win a championship. And because hopefully not my Cowboys need to win a championship. But here, they did have an embarrassing loss against the Bengals. They were like 14 seconds away against the Chiefs. Hopefully they can figure that all out and just help Josh Allen get to the promised land. And Josh Allen will be Josh Allen and hopefully lead them to a Super Bowl. The Philadelphia Eagles, I can see this. Yes, 3, of course, rightfully so. Maybe they should be a 2 for the team that was in the Super Bowl. And then them for having an amazing draft, paying Jalen Hurts. And then you got some of the best wide receiver core in Devontae Smith, in A.J. Brown, one of the best wide receivers in the game. And then, of course, you have Dallas Goedert. And then just to have a lethal quarterback in Jalen Hurts here. The rich got richer in this. The defense got definitely richer this draft. The Bengals, I agree. I can see why. The team that's been beating the number 1 team here, obviously the Chiefs here at this point. Joe Burrow. There's so much. They're just a damn good team. I can see them being 3, but I see why seeing 2. Joe Burrow's the second best quarterback in the league right now, and at any moment they can beat the Chiefs and possibly make it to a Super Bowl. The defense is a little Swiss cheese out there, a little bit. Got some holes over there, but I think nothing that. Who's right here? I forgot who the defensive coordinator of the Bengals are, but he does a pretty damn good job covering the holes as much as he can. Hopefully, it's just with them, it's just hoping that Deshaun Watson does not become that guy again and showing out, saying I'm one of the top quarterbacks in the league. And I think that the Bengals can make it far this upcoming season. And of course, the reigning defending Kansas City Chiefs, they're 1 here. I don't like saying anything about them because Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. As long as he's on the football field, he's going to win you some damn games or does whatever it takes to win you games. And I am concerned about them losing Juju and with the wide receivers and stuff. But we all said that last year about them losing Tyreek Hill. And I wouldn't even know what to say about that, because that is just It's just, I mean, it's just crazy for them to do that. Lose Tyreek Hill, lose their best wide receiver, and then just win the Super Bowl the year after. Tell everybody to be quiet. We are still here, and we're still going to win the Super Bowl. And Patrick Mahomes gets 2 Super Bowls in his very, very young career. I mean, this is the Patrick Mahomes era we are in. We just exist in it. And man. But comment down below, what do you think of these power rankings? Where do you think your favorite team should be at? And we are on the road to hit 500 subscribers, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We'll see you next time. Peace.